stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Excellent cellular integrity, not likely to liquefy.
I hear Monarch's in need of more game hunters. Class A? Oh, right. Test subject.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 11%. Skip drive
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? You'd better take my gun then. Careful, it's worth more to the company than I am. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
What just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell?
yourself killed? Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
Talk to the lieutenant. She's certified in customer service.
Over here before you get yourself killed. Dunno. God, I'd slap. You pulling my leg? I just, you. Well, sometimes management's real good at cost-benefit and. You know what? You're right. It's time we.
Here we go.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Gesture procedures initiated. Disengage. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the register. I am incapable of accepting orders. I deduce from the tone of your voice. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. Well done, Captain Hawthorne. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain. Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time. These surveillance devices allow me to monitor you constantly. Please ignore them. I suppose everything on the unreliable belongs to you now, Captain. Help yourself. No, really. If you're the ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed. Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown. These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
I'll be with you, friend. I'm Ernie, from the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources. Town sent me hereabouts to check on the guards. Now, it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but altercation, you say? Guess I'd better get to cleaning up. Can't... That who died? Oh, right. Yeah, well, we do need all the hands we got, what with folks in Edgewater. You don't want to amble on over to Edgewater. Oh!
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder Your pod ain't safe out here. You'd bet. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand. Name's Silas. Junior in Hume.
I could really go for some salt tuna.
Beats working at the cannery.
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
You trying to get us all
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler. What was that? Take them get drinks to company ammo!
Move along.
Outside. Better take a look. Out of ammo! Reloading! I'm gonna rush him!
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Don't worry.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we...
I don't know you. Uh-huh. The Unreliable, you say? Never heard of any company supply ship with that particular name. I don't know what you're about, but this here... Am I that easy to read? Yeah, we've been having some problems lately. Loyalty issues. If you're gonna have a drink, I'd like to ask that you do it within the... Traitors. The lot of them. Town's already struggling to make quotas. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Go ahead. The Hope? No, I've never mixed a drink. Wait, no, never mind. Yeah, I got vague recollections of some folk.
Don't make me report you to Mr. Tops.
Miss Holcomb, I need to explain this lesson.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me. Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your... I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any... I can't let you have our power regulator. But... there's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's... go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The people living in the botanical labs. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all... I mean, if that's...
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holt. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with...
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that.
You some sort of freelancer?
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on matter. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just... he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real... Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no light. It just... I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, that's what my dad used to...
sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town. I've never seen you before, and there's been no paperwork indicating a transfer. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either pretty universal here, except for Ms. Hulk.
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town. Yes. Yes, it is. But I must double my efforts to elevate my...
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you... I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp, so that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never... I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone. Not many in this colony. Thank you.
When I was little, we'd get freighters.
Thank the law. You ever swung a truncheon? I'm talking about mechanical soldier. That's right. That's what auto-mechanicals. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's chaw. Enlistment fees. They have sent a scout. Proud. The scout must not be permitted to return to its... Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think that...
Not a peep from me. on account of how I never met her. It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but real machines have gunked up oil. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's... Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me. Easy. Great work. Aw, here we go! He took one down!
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic? You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory. On the double, soldier.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
Bring us honor. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here is a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit. Designed to deliver a lethal... You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a ground... Fun. This ain't some quarterly performance review, soldier. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old... Unfortunately, the old plant lies out... I've been after a passcode for years. But I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not... If you die horribly...
Dang, that's impressive.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking... Answers, huh? Yeah, that's it. If you're gonna start wandering around my... Over in the hot-out. Enough with the question. Well, look at you. Buzzing around the Aether with your very own... No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe... It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. Appreciate it. I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. Little ways ago. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody... What is it?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself. Whoa, Miss...
Are you,
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep...
Oh gosh, no,
Are you from town? Never heard it phrased in such a way before. Sorry, fact is I've been, well, lying. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in...
Those are good.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you... No kidding! Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes up... In fact, I put aside something.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt?
Why, thank you. You're right. Are you staying long? Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, he would do such a thing. Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. A hero to the people who matter. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed no- You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb?
He was tired all the time, sure, but...
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down. I trust you.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout, too. Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of... Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. She called it Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder. Shame she up and vanished when she did. The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was good.
you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Inside voices.
I smell blood! I smell blood.
Here we go!
Let you bleed!
Clever. anybody who ever came out this far.
Stand and deliver! Always wanted to say that. That had to hurt. Right in the vitals! Pow! Right in the vitals! That had to hurt.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. What, you mean Adelaide's little congregation? You, on the other hand, you were a... Why? Adelaide wants me back on Garden? I doubt that. Nobody... Wait, you're telling me he's got a... I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at... I'm great at... I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of... I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I don't know. The vital processes that Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love meat. I may have bartered them a few boxes of adrenal... no.
What is it? We didn't always get along. Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe, you pretty much did my job. Let me know if...
Okay, gone quiet.
Get them!
Any progress on that map? Wonderful. What the fuck is this? Is this French? It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French! Well, I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universe. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague. Please. As if my life should... Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is... You have a ship. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument. Oh. Fantastic.
Edgewater's gonna miss you.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I shall see you on the ship.
You the new worker? Whatever. Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't...
Any luck finding? No kid. Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked 2 whole data Sure. What's on your...
control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing. Three switches. That'll be easy enough. Nicely done. Great work!
not real. You're not real.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
You're not real. You're not real. Go away, Phantom! No, 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 just leave me alone! You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram! Most people? But I'm the only one left. See? See, Hick? Of course. Do excuse me. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Braised, boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Mechanicals lost their bolts. I was on cleaning duty at the time. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. Yes, that's exactly it. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. Oh, that reminds me. Funny thing, I was working on a...
What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale? Yeah, huh? He's just interested in fixing stuff. I'm just glad he's alive. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should... In the bar? Sorry. It's not like I think it a failing, mind. It's just I live right across the road. Most nights I watch folks out my window. When they come in here, they might be happy or sad. When they leave, they're mad at themselves. Or they stumble into the alley. Maybe so. If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Vale? Wow, great work! Last. I'm not sure what the right is. Alls I know is the decision's made.
Oh, you got that?
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, but the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard... That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, in Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters... I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back... Sorry, I didn't mean to... Really? I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people...
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not... No... The geothermal plant? Now that's a complete set. Aside from...
I'm glad we...
I've been saving something for you.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock. You want my flock wasting? Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them, and you tell Reed Thompson that I will never... You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for... Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. My son worked in the... We had a store of medicine locked away. But... So I buried my boy in the cemetery. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me. The secret is human corpses. I've been I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not...
Sorry. I've been thinking about going... I get sick thinking about working at... You know something? I think you're right. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive... You know where to find me.
I don't know what you did. The matter's been weighing on. Zoe came back, but I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand. Edgewater's not just a town to Adelaide. It's a symbol of everything. We're the closest thing Adelaide's got to a family. Sure, suit yourself.
Yeah, huh?
This is a fine day, friend. How? I trust Adelaide's people have seen... Go ahead. It is my job to... I'm trying to remember 25 years, 20... I remember looking out this window and seeing the times change, people change. I wish you wouldn't say things like that. Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over we are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. This is a Spacer's Choice town, where loyalty's got nothing. Go ahead. Can we not? That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent. Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude. If I had enough medicine to treat everyone... Adelaide's son was barely competent. I treat him with our medical rations, and it looks like I'm playing favorites. Now, I will not pretend to understand the suffering Adelaide must have felt on account of losing her child, but she is not the only one to have felt such suffering. I wish she had stayed with us. Adelaide left us when we needed her most. Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a... Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or... But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by. What with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world. Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of Saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate. Go ahead. That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her... I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town. Scripture tells us we all have our purpose in the world. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost... Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flake. Spacer's Choice Saltuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint. Go ahead. I appreciate what you've done. Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this... I am not perfect. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plagues... You are disparaging our parent. We are a Spacer's Choice. I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing... The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse. You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, my life here is ended. Give me... I have always tried to do right by my town. couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other. No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I.
Look at that. I never thought I'd see the day that suppose it's time our flock made our way back. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with what? This don't put us on even footing, you understand. But it is a start. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves... I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Sorry. Adelaide said that? Was she... Something must have changed in it.
Never seen the Veil. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your unit. So this is... I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but...
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for... Lovely to see...
Things going all right?
Been keeping him careful. Best
My dad's buried here. Silas watches... Oh. Well, thanks.
Something I can do for you? Got a knack for being discreet like? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He just is. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... You'll find him in town. All...
Never seen the Veil lit up like this. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join. Mechanical repellent! A stroke of inspiration.
own hair.
Merciful law. Is that a marauder's outfit? Please don't. Physical hygiene. So everyone said. I'm Conrad. You will also report to me in the event. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and... As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the process. Thank you, no. I despise the cereals. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay. And that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid... Much... What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? You may think that, but the tide... Whether you're showing up to work or going to that great cannery in the... You know about Eugene. You were probably poking around my things. Eugene's golden teeth were a family... That's unthinkable. Eugene's body, and I can't ask Silas to dig up...
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're...
Desperate measures, miss. I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those... I'm sure that I... Here you are. Great.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Oh, sweet. There a reason you're running around outfitted like one? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. You some sort of wandering alienist? Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world.
Don't say that, Mr. Abbott.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. You are? I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see your way to... There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. I need you to bring... You been there already? And you... Let's see it. Sweet life-giving nos. Scratched together all the bits I had around the domicile. You're wringing the blood out of me.
What's on your... Shit. Silas still on about that. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be.
Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon... Not half as awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know Eugene was an asset. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his paper... I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me.
Sorry, I got a lot to do.
Things are... You run into any... reliable work from a freelancer? And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Oh, suppose you've earned it. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top... Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing, far as rumors go. There a reason you asking? All right, easy now. No need to get your hackles up. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about hope this and colony that, but you need to...
Is this your ship? Oh my stars! Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but... Oh, it's kind of you to say that. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But... can I come with you? I could tend to your engine, and if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back... Yes! I mean, Captain.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
You're fast.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply. What can I do for you? Do you know? Outstanding, Captain. Our engine room is located. What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are off. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low altitude. We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kilkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and all captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Without a skip drive? Good. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is none of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope. Excellent, Halcyon. By the way, I gave Captain... I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkable. Excellent. I'll contact you. And remember,
Don't trust the board. The board's only interested in filling their...
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please...